Hi there guys, it's Mike from MCQBushcraft here and welcome to another video. And I'm out doing a little bit of shooting today for wood pigeon preferably, but if there's grey squirrel I will take those as well. And I'm using the 12 bore and I've got paper cartridges again. I've got the Ely's 30g 6, which is a very good all-round cartridge to use for small game out of a side-by-side shotgun like this one here. The weather's been very confusing though today, even though we're well within spring. As you can see, it started to snow again. We've had rain, we've had sunshine, we've had snow. It really is all over the place. And it must be pretty confusing for a lot of the insects and other wildlife that are emerging at this time of year. I've had to put both my swan dries on. Unfortunately, this smock over the top has really helped to keep the weather off and actually keep me warm. But I'm going to have a walk around, see what I can see in this woodland here on this hillside. And as the day draws to an end, I'll take position on the edge of the hillside over there in an open area where a lot of the wood pigeons tend to roost and come in before they roost as well, and see what I can take. I do wear ear defenders as well. The shotgun is very loud and over the years of shooting it's good to protect your ears because it is very, very loud. It will damage your ears and it is cumulative. But these are electronic, as I've explained in other videos, so I can hear everything pretty normally. When the gun goes off, it cuts the volume down to a safe level so I don't damage my hearing. Just had a pigeon come into land in the tree in front of me, but it spotted me and then made a quick exit out of the woodland, and unfortunately I missed despite firing 2 shots. But there's a lot of activity today, so it's really early in the day. We'll see how it goes. That was one. Go and recover it. Looks like a good bird, nice and healthy, clean kill. So a nice clean kill, just went down straight away and died instantly. Came into land in the tree behind me there. You can see a really nice bird, blood coming out of the mouth, so indicates that the shot went clean through all the vital organs there, especially the lungs and the heart. So it died instantly, and this is a good spot really. Stepping back into the shade makes a huge difference on your success. If I was sat in open sunlight like I was a little bit earlier when I was observing what was going on around me, the barrel of the gun catches the light, and that glint really will shine from quite a distance if you think about how far light travels and how good the eyesight is of a wood pigeon. They have very, very good eyesight, especially for just slight movements, and that wavering barrel that you're holding there, you don't realise you're moving it slightly, just reflecting the light. It will catch the eye of a bird coming into land, and they'll just dart and leave immediately, faster than they came in. So just being back in the shade here really makes a huge difference. This is a huge yew tree in front of me, Taxus baccata, really nice tree, very old, and it provides some great shade. And if you look at all the droppings around the base of the tree, this is a typical spot of where the pigeons like to come. They like to roost, and it's a nice safe place for them to land. I've used this area before and it always seems to bring a lot of success. But I'll put the ear defenders back on and we'll wait around a bit longer. After a shot's fired, you always get a lot of disturbance, and that's why I'm always reluctant to move and recover a bird straight away from firing a shot, simply because you might disturb other birds that have landed or in the area, and they might start circling around, and you can always use that second barrel almost straight after. Well, I've been in this location for some time now, and there's been quite a bit of pigeon activity behind me, over there, and in front of me when you saw me take that bird and obviously miss one more that came over quite quickly with the wind. Although there's been quite a lot of activity, it's not always going to be localised to where I am, and I'm reluctant to take shots at things that are out of range and it's not going to be a clean kill, or there are branches and foliage in the way at distance that are just going to kind of absorb the shot and not make it a clean kill. So I'm going to move location now. I've been here for some time, we've got weather moving in again, and I'm going to move much further down to the actual open area where I can take cover, and you get quite a lot of activity there towards the evening. So I'm going to make my way there and we'll see what that area brings. Recover that one behind me. That one got hit pretty hard. Got him on the second barrel. I have to go and recover him now. Managed to recover this one, although it's a little bit worse for wear. It came crashing down and it just tore through all the brambles. Really got absolutely torn to pieces. This kind of shooting may seem quite actionless to some people, but I've explained it before in other videos where you've seen me out doing this kind of shooting. It really is just about patience. It's a little bit like fishing, and you're just sitting round basically waiting. But the thing about it really is it's not just about being bored. I mean, I've never been bored when I'm out doing this kind of thing, because you're really just observing, and it's great. It's a great sort of form of training really for the mind, just to really tune in to what's going on around you, listening to the sights and sounds that are happening. A lot of it may be the sound of livestock in the background in my case at the moment because of where I am, but there are places that aren't quite like that, a bit more wild, as you've probably seen from other videos that I've shown you. And it's a very fuel efficient way of hunting. If you're intending to hunt birds like pigeons, for example, you have to understand that their eyesight is incredible and it's very, very finely tuned to movement. So if you start going and stalking them, you'll probably find that they'll just fly away and they'll see you coming. So you have to be patient, you have to wait. In my case, I'm using a shotgun. I could use a smaller caliber shotgun. I have a 410 at home, but I do prefer using the 12. I find that for my skill level, it guarantees a cleaner kill. There probably are people out there that are very, very skilled with a 410. I'm okay with one, but you know, I'm not going to admit that I'm amazing with one, because I'm not. So I prefer the 12 bore in my case, because it gives me a cleaner kill, and I'm more confident with it. The swing is better for me, the pattern's better, the range is better. The pattern on the 410 is, after 20 yards with a 2.5 inch cartridge, is pretty sparse, and I'll put a video in the description below on a pattern test if anybody's interested in the actual science behind that. But waiting around like this, it doesn't use much energy. I mean, I had a huge bowl of porridge for lunch, and that's kind of sorted me out really for the day. I do carry a sort of a flapjack on me as well, sometimes a banana or an apple, just to tie me over. But it's a pretty relaxing day. You just have to be very vigilant, because you never know when the opportunity will present itself, and it's generally the minute that you let it go, the minute that you just drop your guard, you put your gun down, everything starts moving, and you just miss that opportunity you've been waiting hours for. So it can be quite fatiguing on the shoulders, you know, standing holding a gun like this, but you get used to all that and you forget about the ache, and you just start focusing in on what's going on around you. And an opportunity like that just presents itself. So that just glided over, and that was a good clean hit. It was soaring over, it didn't see me. I'm in the shadow, nice contrast from the sunlight. But there we go, there's another wood pigeon. That makes 4 for the day. So I'll get that in the bag. Here comes another one's just landed over there. See, this is the time of day where things start getting really active. We're coming really into the early evening, and everything gets ready for the end of the day, starts moving. Could have been another good shot. Could have been another good shot. We've got lots and lots of movement happening now. When you fire a shot, it often stirs things up a bit. God, we've got a lot of movement. A lot of movement. They're all in the trees in front of me, but not this tree you see right before you hear, the sycamore or the ash to my right. They're in the other tree just further down. Some really big beeches just beyond the way there. 3 or 4 just landed in. I could have taken that one overhead, but I'm going a bit too quick and I just wasn't confident enough with it. I didn't want to just wing it and send it flying. Just a grey squirrel there. Go and recover that. So I got a grey squirrel here, and just shot it out of the tree. It may seem like I'm just shooting everything, but the reality is I'm actually being very selective about what I shoot. Grey squirrels are non-native, and they're pretty destructive, to be honest, especially around here. They eat a lot of chicks, a lot of birds, eggs, and they do a lot of damage to trees. There's a few trees around here that are just stripped completely of bark and have died, and they do this all through this woodland here, and there's been great efforts to kind of get rid of them really all over the country. And obviously wood pigeon, again, a pest species, so a lot of the things you see me doing, I'm actually just taking out pests and using the opportunity to then put food in my fridge, so I don't have to buy meat. I can just use what I've got there. But this will be covered in fleas. They always are absolutely littered with fleas, so the last thing I'll do on this is actually put it in the pack with the wood pigeons. This will need to be put in a bag on its own and treated a little bit differently. You can put them in a smoky fire, hang them above a smoky fire, and all the fleas will leap off, but until this body is cooled down, the fleas will still think it's alive. So I'm going to leave this somewhere. In fact, I'll hang it in a tree or put it in a tree over there, and I'll collect it at the end of the day, as I always do. And I'll use the hide as well, actually, as I do with rabbits and deer and all other species that I tend to be able to get my hands on. I think I'm going to call it a day. It's been quite a successful day, really, on the shooting. I have 4 wood pigeons and 1 grey squirrel. I'm glad I got that grey squirrel. I knew it's been in that tree for quite a long time, and it's one of the main culprits that we've seen doing quite a lot of damage around this area. and I imagine there's loads more. There always will be, and when you shoot one, another one will just move in. It's a little bit of a crowded country really for grey squirrels as it is for human beings. Which one's the biggest issue? Well, you know, it's pretty obvious, but as far as the grey squirrels go, they ring bark a lot of the trees, they get very frustrated, it's hard for them to establish territory, so they just do a lot of damage, and they're an introduced species. It's a shame we don't have the red squirrel. I wouldn't shoot any of those. I've seen some in Germany, haven't ever seen any in the UK, but maybe one day they'll come back. I highly doubt it. But 4 good wood pigeons here. You can see I've got some really nice ones, all 4 of them just about fitting in the game bag here. Going to need a bigger one if I do any more than this, but I don't normally take too much when I'm out. I think 4's enough for the day, and I can always come back another day and get some more. But you can see it started snowing again, even though we've got some lovely sunny weather. The weather today really has been quite crazy, to be honest, but at the same time it's not been too cold. But I hope you've enjoyed this video, guys. It's been quite an interesting video. This is generally how I spend at least one day a week. This is sort of the way I get meat, as I've said on lots of videos like this, but I appreciate people might watch this that haven't seen my other videos, so they're not too familiar with the channel or the kind of things that go on it. So I could invest more time out here. We're really coming into the golden hour now, which is roosting time. A lot of birds will become very active. In fact, whilst setting up the camera, 3 or 4 birds landed and then flew away because I was obviously moving around just in that space of time. So if I'd have waited it out, I probably could have had 3 or 4 more, or at least 1 more. Because obviously as soon as you fire a shot, they all disperse. But thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you very soon in another one. Take care, guys. Thanks again.